as you can see, pretty even. I've had a bit more possession, which is pretty much always going to happen with this team. You got to keep the ball, because if you don't, you're going to get hit on the counter. You basically got to hope they've got to. If they have slow build up against you, you'll be fine. But as soon as they start playing through balls and stuff, he's on top wing, he's threw it away. Go on, Totti. Probably should have passed that. That was a silly play. But yeah. So it was a bit silly from me. I should have passed it. There were 2 players, three, but I'm just reluctant to play through balls with this team because I know they're just going to get caught up. So it's difficult to know what to do, because if you've got the pace option, you can sort of cut it inside, or you can play a through ball. Tony's away, but you're going to get caught up. Yeah, Kyle Walker's just too quick. See, it's just tricky to do it. It really is. Yeah, so I mean, these players are pretty decent. They are obviously, Totti in his day was absolutely world class. He would. Oh, it might be disconnecting now. Yeah, I mean, some of these players, they're not bad now, but I mean, players like Totti are just amazing in real life. Oh God. He must have, I think he for about 4 or 5 seasons from midfield he was scoring 20 plus goals. You also got Paul Scholes, who's just absolutely magnificent player. His passing is just ridiculous. I don't know too much about Ainsworth. He's only he is quite old, but I mean, he's basically he's just a League 2 player, and I think that's all he has ever been. Jamie Carragher is a bit past his best, like most of these players, but Ambrosini's always been a solid player for Milan. He's probably won a couple of Champions Leagues in his time. See Phil Neville here. He's actually retired. He's not retired. He's going to leave Everton. Go on, Neville. But we'll keep it going here. As you remember, Cudicini used to play for Chelsea. He's actually really good. That's a foul ref. Might be a red if I'm lucky. Yellow. But Shane Long. We could have done with getting him set off because he's too fast. But you know. Right, so Kevin Phillips. I remember last season he must have scored about 10 goals in the last 5 minutes of games. Blackpool would bring him on with about 5 minutes to go, and he'd literally just score at every single game. He's just a fucking poacher. He's amazing at that. Oh God, he's through. Please get there, Cudicini. Yeah, well in. So there we go, Neville. Nesta, I think he's transferred now to the MLS. He's very old. I think he's probably over 40 now. But I mean, he's still 82 rated on FIFA, so he must be a bloody good player. If he can still be doing that at 42 years of age, he's pretty class. Totti, go on, son. Try a few skill moves. Go on, Tony. Totti's away. Try and cut that inside. Maybe go. He's just too slow. Not got the agility. Right. Come on. It's nice to have a bit of a change playing with these players, because it does get a bit boring just playing with the same squad, same fast squads with pacey, skillful players. It's just nice to, play with some legends of the game. Go on, Totti. Kyle Walker. He could have been anyone but Kyle fucking Walker.
Still some old players in the prime. For example, Ronaldinho's still a very good player.
True.
He's not slow.
That is true. And you got, who is it? Di Natale, I think it is. He's on his inform. He's got like 90 pace, and he's like 36. And I think I could have used him in the squad, but it's not really, it's not really fair just to have someone so good when it's supposed to be a bit of a challenge. It's not really a challenge having someone with 90 pace, 90 shooting on your freaking team.
What do you think about players going to the US and Australia when they get older?
I think that's good. I mean, it's sort of, people have heard of these players. People like David Beckham. He's going to bring the sport, into those. What the hell? Into those leagues. You got people like Emil Heskey, who's gone over to Australia. He was really good in his time, but he turned into a bit of a flop for Aston Villa and Wigan, and he's just a bit of a banterous player now. But go on, Phillips. But yeah, it's good. It's definitely like being like David Beckham. I think now is an ambassador for Chinese football. And that's quite good to see, because it's improving the lives of younger people. They'll be improving funding for football, and community football and things like that. If people like David Beckham are supporting projects, that's a that's a good effort. Unfortunate. That would have probably. Oh God.
Do you think players like Juninho and Ronaldinho would still be able to cut it in the big leagues?
Yeah, of course they would. Well, Ronaldinho he's just really good, isn't he? He doesn't need pace. He's never needed pace, so that's not an issue. Ryan Giggs, players like him are just still world class. I mean, you see some of the things he does in the game, and it's just mind blowing. Somebody who's 40 plus years of age can do things like that. He scored in 20 Premier League seasons in a row. People like Juninho, with his set pieces, yeah, definitely. Same with David Beckham. You can see in the Champions League, he's still got it, hasn't he? I mean, he was anchoring that midfield very, very well indeed. He may have moved into the centre mid from the right mid spot, but good effort. But yeah, he's still a very good player. God, that's a goal. Yeah, headers are always on mine. I'm doing, and I think that's going to be the game. I can't see myself scoring. A bit frustrating. But yeah, he just got a bit of a lucky bounce and went straight to Sturridge, and he got ahead of the man, and that was it. We're going to have to keep pushing on now, hope for the best, but I think with a bit of a better team probably would be beating this guy, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll just have to keep going. It's quite hard speaking and playing at the same time, because you don't often think about what you're going to do, you're just thinking about what to say. Especially if I've not done one before, it's a bit tricky, but I think that's going to be it. I can't see myself scoring, certainly not from a counter attack, but anyway, maybe. Go on, Neville. Gonna play that into Skull. That's a shocking touch. That's another thing about these players, they're just the first touches, especially on this game when the first touches are so poor. You just can't play. They're very difficult to play with, and that's a goal. Yeah, that seals it. Dembele again, left foot. I tried to not let him take it, but he managed to get a shot away. Gold Cup final, 3-1 loss. That's not entirely surprising. But I did feel at one point I could have got the win, but never really posed too much of a threat to this guy. Did 1-1 in the 80th minute, hit the post with a nice strike, but it's just the way it was. And this series is called Ruined by a Randomer, so I guess it's living up to expectations, really. And that's the game. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed something a bit different. Try and get some more videos up soon.